Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another video, and now it's time for some Planet Zoo content, and this is a first on this channel. This is the first time that I'm not uploading any Sims 4 content because I actually received a key from Frontier. I love this game, and some of you have asked me if I would upload some Planet Zoo content, so here we are. This is a Planet Zoo speed build. I'm building a hippo enclosure here because I was running into a lot of problems, let me tell you that, because first of all, it was super buggy, which is to be expected for a beta. This is what a beta is for. We all test the game and then the devs can fix what's wrong and all that. And at the same time, I made a lot of very stupid decisions and I created, I don't know, 5 zoos or something. And I'm going to tell you about all that in this video. So here I'm working on the hippo enclosure, and I decided to go for a hippo enclosure because hippos live on land and in the water, and I wanted to build something that has both areas with land and this beautiful area here where we have a glass barrier and the guests can just stand in front of it and they can look at the beautiful hippos that take a swim. So I felt like it's a enclosure that is super versatile, so I can create these water areas and land areas, which is super beautiful. And this was actually really simple. I raised the terrain and then I built the barrier on top of it. I'm pretty sure that there is a much more elegant solution for this because this could probably look so much better, but I did my best here. I have played Planet Coaster a lot, so I'm kind of familiar with the controls, and if you're new to this game, when it's going to be released in November, and if you haven't played Planet Coaster, I can totally recommend you check out all the shortcuts because building is really easy and intuitive in this game, but you have to know about the shortcuts in my opinion. Otherwise it can be a pain to copy everything and to kind of arrange it and to bring it into the right angle. All these shortcuts are going to help you tremendously with this. So this is my first advice. If you haven't played the beta, if you haven't played Planet Coaster, if you are new to this game, and if you plan to buy it in November, then look up all the shortcuts, get familiar with them, and that is kind of a muscle memory thing. Just like for the Sims, I'm always telling you guys, learn about the shortcuts and then you can make a lot of fun stuff, and it's the same here. Compared to the Sims 4, you have a lot of possibilities and you can add a amount of detail that is insane. I mean, you cannot compare these two games really, they are completely different, but I like to compare them because this is a Sims 4 channel generally. But I can tell you that you can do so much crazy things here. There are endless possibilities, and in The Sims, even if you put a lot of detail into one build, within a couple of hours or maybe within days you are done. But here in this game, in Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo, you can work on one project, on one enclosure or one roller coaster. In Planet Coaster you can work on that for months if you would like to, and some of the stuff that people have created in Planet Coaster is just amazing, insane, mind-blowing, just super crazy, some next level stuff. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to see stuff on the same level in this game as well. But the beta only lasted for 2 weeks, I think, so that's not a lot of time. So we are going to see some mind-blowing stuff in November and December, I'm pretty sure. So I made a lot of wrong decisions in this game, let me tell you. So there is no sandbox mode in the beta. So I started in the franchise mode and I had to play with money and I made a lot of stupid decisions. So I really like to build stuff and I really like to make a park, a zoo or a house in The Sims look beautiful, and I'm all about the looks. This is what I like to do in The Sims, and this is also what I like to do in Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo. So I built a zoo with a beautiful entrance area, but then I didn't pay attention on the money and then I ran out of money pretty quickly. I also made a couple of wrong decisions regarding the animals that I kept in my zoo, and then it all went wrong. Then I started a new zoo and things were going super great. It didn't look good, it wasn't beautiful, but it worked out fine. So I had my animals, some zebras and different animals, and everyone was happy, my guests were happy. Then I stopped playing, then the game updated, and then I started playing again, and after the update my zoo was not working anymore. Something went totally wrong, so all animals and all enclosures were constantly breaking out non-stop and it wouldn't stop. And then I don't know, it just wouldn't stop, and I couldn't fix it, so I had to restart my franchise, and then I started another zoo, and this kind of ran well as well, but I don't know, it was just super crazy. But this was my mistake. There were a couple of really crazy bugs, which, as I said, is to be expected in a beta, but I also made a lot of stupid decisions, and I cannot wait for the sandbox, because I really like to play games in a sandbox. What I did in Planet Coaster, I was bored with the sandbox mode and I wanted to play with some money, but at the same time I wanted to create a really beautiful park from the start, because when you think of a theme park, for example, the entrance area is always super beautiful. You have a main street, and in Disneyland, for example, you have the castle, so the entrance area is super important, and everything kind of, it all makes sense, you know. There's not one area that's not looking good, and this is how I like to design a park. So what I did was I just used a path, and the path went to the right very far, hundreds and hundreds of meters, and there I built a very ugly looking park that just had the purpose of farming money. This was kind of my money farm. And then as soon as I had a lot of money, I sold all that stuff, and I used the money to create the very fancy entrance area, including some rides. And then I had a wonderful park. I didn't have to build a sandbox, so money was still a concern, which made it more interesting, and this was kind of my little workaround for Planet Coaster. But here this didn't really work, because as soon as a path was too long, the guests would just turn around and wouldn't follow the path, so it was super confusing. But I always want to say Sims and not guests. This is so unusual. So as I said, the beta has ended, so this is for now my only video. I have played for days and days, but I didn't record that process. I wanted to farm money, and then I wanted to build a couple of fancy enclosures, but this obviously didn't work out because I had a really wide experience with this game. So here it's just one enclosure that is not connected to any zoo. This is not a proper functional zoo. This is just one enclosure build, just like one speed build in The Sims, for example. This is just one enclosure, just like you have one house in The Sims. I'm not even sure if I will be able to upload the whole thing to the workshop, in case you guys are interested. I have no idea if this works, or if you can only upload the buildings, and the buildings itself aren't that interesting here. Another thing that totally went wrong for me, and I felt very stupid, there is a research tab that you can use to research some objects, so you have new building objects. I only used the research to improve the enclosures of the animals, so you can research some stuff for your animals that you can then add to the enclosures, new little toys that are filled with food so your animals are happy. And I researched all that, but there was another research tab for objects that you can use to build, and I only noticed 2 days before the beta ended, and I felt very stupid. I don't know what was going on, but it was a hot mess, let me tell you guys. So all in all, I'm totally recommending this game already. I really liked the beta. I think it's a lot of fun, and just like in Planet Coaster, you have unlimited possibilities to build and to create a park. You can be super creative with this. You just have to get the hang of the controls, and you have to be a bit creative and have to think about what you can do in this game, basically, and I can just totally recommend it. It's super amazing. I really like how the animals behave. It all seems very natural and really fun. There are still a couple of things that I would like to see in this game, and that I would like to be changed. For example, you can only have one gate, one door in one enclosure, so the staff can enter and can take care of your animals. But especially when you have super big enclosures like this one, this is horrible, because it would be amazing if there would be another door at the other end so another staff member could enter, basically. But this is not possible. And one of the parks that then went downhill that I mentioned, I had one big zebra enclosure and there were other animals inside it, and it was amazing, but it was so big that it was a struggle for the staff member to kind of walk all the way through it from one side to the other, and this is something that I would like to see changed. Also, the pass system is not perfect. This was already a concern in Planet Coaster. This is something that should be worked on, but I don't think that this will happen. Why? Because when it comes to the pass system and the building controls, it's basically identical to Planet Coaster. It feels like the same game in that regard, and I don't think that it's even possible to change that, because this has already received a lot of critique in Planet Coaster and nothing was changed. Probably the same engine, I have no idea, I don't know about this stuff, but the base seems to be the same. It's exactly the same as Planet Coaster, but you get used to it. So I saw a lot of people being super bummed about how the pass system works, because sometimes it's really frustrating, but you will get used to it. And a lot of people already told that to those people who were frustrated. If you've played Planet Coaster, then you already know your way around. And once again, you just have to know your controls. When you place a pass, for example, close to another pass, and it wants to snap to the pass and connect it, I think when you hold control or shift, I'm not sure, I think it's control, then the pass is not snapping to it and it's not connecting, and you can place it really close to each other. Things like that, you just really have to look up all your controls and shortcuts, and then it won't be a problem. And here I decided to have a little bridge that connects different parts of the enclosure. I really wanted to build something that's a bit out of the ordinary for you guys, so it looks fun, so the animals can actually use this little bridge. So this is not for visitors, this is for the animals, and it was a lot of fun to build this. I only had a couple of days to really get the hang of it here, so this is definitely not the most beautiful enclosure that you have ever seen. I've seen some really good stuff on Reddit already. Some people really built some amazing things, but I didn't even have enough leaf points at any point to buy some really super interesting, amazing animals. So I don't know, I should have started right away when the beta was released 2 weeks ago, but I only started a couple of days ago. But I had a lot of fun, I'm not complaining. The last couple of days were super fun, and of course there will also be some Sims content after this. I was just sucked into this game. Let me know in the comments down below if you've played the beta, if you're planning to buy the game, if you haven't played the beta, what you think about this game, and if you've played Planet Coaster and what you think about this game. Planet Coaster didn't disappoint, and this game will surely not disappoint either. The buggy beta was already amazing, so we can expect a lot of good things. Also, at this point in the beta, you had to be online, and this received a lot of criticism because there's no reason for you to be online in a single player game. You can trade animals, but it's super annoying because not everyone has stable internet or a internet connection at all times, so this received a lot of criticism. And Frontier reacted, and they said that there will be an offline mode in the release, which is amazing. And this is what I really like about Frontier. When they receive some criticism, they react, and if they can fix it, they will fix it. And they have really good communication with their player base on Reddit, for example, and I really like this about Frontier, and the beta didn't disappoint. I mean, even the idea of having a beta like this that anyone who buys the deluxe edition can access, and then you won't be able to play the game until November, so it was really just a 2-week period for the beta. The idea is just ingenious, and I have never seen this in any other game. So many people played the game now, reported all the bugs and stuff that is super annoying, and now they still have time to make this game perfect, and this just shows that they really care, because they could have just released the game the way it is now or in November, but they really put some effort into it. People played the beta, and I think that this is a really good idea, and it really shows that they care, and I have a lot of hope for this game. It's already amazing, and if they polish it a little bit, it will be great. Also, I'm pretty sure that there will be some DLCs, just like for Planet Coaster, and the DLCs were not really overpriced. They had a good price point in my opinion, so I'm also really excited for the DLCs for this game. I think that we will probably receive more animals down the line, maybe something like aquariums. I would love to have something like this. This would be amazing. Like we have snakes and all that in the vivariums, and it would be amazing to have some aquariums in the same kind of style. This would be super amazing. And something that I would really like to see are playgrounds, because this is usually a must for any type of zoo. or even theme parks. So this is something that I would really like to see, but I'm pretty sure that we will receive a lot of great stuff down the line. You always have to keep in mind that this is just the base game really, and for a base game it offers a lot. It doesn't feel incomplete. It doesn't even feel like there is really something missing in a way that it's a must to have some DLCs. It's just something that I would love to see, but it doesn't feel incomplete. So the game this way by itself is already amazing. And this is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I will upload some Sims content in the next days. Thank you so much for watching my Planet Zoo content. I hope that you have a fantastic week, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.